Working in tech isn't what it used to be. I'm not just talking about the newest AI model on the market. It's no longer dominated by nerds from MIT. Now, everybody wants to get a degree in comp science and raking six figures.
Hello, I like money.
But today I want to share a different perspective. Not to discourage anyone of working in tech, they often go unspoken. Like one of those I feel like is burnout. And it's not talked about enough because although tech isn't physically demanding as other jobs, it can demand a lot from your time, from your abilities, and like sitting down 40, 50, 60 hours a week staring at a screen, trying to figure out why your function isn't working, trying to debug why a certain type is not returning from a function, etc. Stressful on some people. Like I read a survey that says that 42% of tech workers have a high risk of burnout, and 62% of them are feeling emotionally or physically drained. They're already feeling the effects of burnout. And I think a big part about that is that you're mostly working on very small features. If you work on front end, you're usually using work like React, Angular, Vue, etc. All the cool perks like they give you in tech for working there for so long kind of get old eventually. Like that's why many people are switching to remote work because like free food, cool office station, things are just there to keep you there and work is for you to work as long as possible there. And I think the second problem is layoffs. So recently over the past year, there's been like a record number of layoffs. I've seen so many videos on my recommended of people crying. Like since the start of the year, it's like 50,000 workers have been laid off from over 200 tech companies. And last year, over 250,000 workers were laid off. So I think basically we're on pace to break that this year. But as much as you get paid from these other companies, they're very quick to hire and fire because there's so many people willing to take the same job. And I mean, layoffs it depends on who you are. I mean, some of these companies pay pretty well, but it wouldn't be bad to be laid off. I mean, having ex-Googler in your name would be like kind of cool, but as much as you want to get paid, you're kind of easily dispensable to all these different companies. And while some may value high salaries, others kind of value job security in this market where, everything's super competitive. And the third point I want to make is just competition in general. So unlike other professions which are licensed, like engineering, medicine, law, tech has a lower barrier to entry because it's not licensed, and And it's cool because you don't have to get a degree, you don't have to go to a boot camp, you don't have to get a license or certification to work in tech generally. Like for some IT parts, they may require it. But if you're fortunate enough to, try to get into tech and you're able to get into tech, or you're able to make it past at least the first automatic screening process, then you have to usually drop into a LeetCode interview. And most of the time, LeetCode is kind of broken. There's so many videos talking about this on YouTube. LeetCode doesn't really test your actual coding ability. It just tests how well you're able to memorize and explain common coding patterns like linked lists, sorting. Yeah, like because of the competition, the burnout, and all the different layoffs, there's some reasons why some people wouldn't want to work in tech. But I mean, working in tech can be a great and fulfilling field if you're technologically inclined and you kind of have to kind of grind it. You got to play the system. You got to do LeetCode. You got to max out your LinkedIn. You got to send resumes where you can. You got to network with people. You got to try to get into the industry, But, I mean, that's all I have for today. Like and subscribe.